able to demonstrate how dialogue helps us understand a story. Would you demonstrate for me right now what it looks like when you are sleeping? Very nice demonstration. You showed me how it looks when you're sleeping. Now you can sit up and show me, demonstrate what it looks like when you're a language arts student. Awesome.
What's a math student look like? No, I'm just kidding.
All right. The next word is dialogue. Does anyone know what dialogue is? Mrs. Bordenero, how many of them do you think know what a dialogue is?
I don't know, Mrs. Lumber. What do you think?
I don't know. I'm sure that most of them have probably read it in a fiction story before.
I think at least 2 people know what it is.
It looks like 2 people know what it is.
Oh, maybe 3 people know what it is.
I think that they probably hear dialogue happen all the time.
They might be hearing dialogue happen right now.
I bet they are.
Oh!
What is dialogue?
It says that
Julio. Yes, it's a conversation that happens. How do you know when a conversation happens in a book?
the quotation. The quotation.
Paige, thank you for raising your hand.
See quotation marks between the words and these things.
I like how everyone does quotation marks. You can see the quotation marks. Good. So dialogue can help us understand a story, and we'll show that today. Students will show it by inventing a conversation between 2 characters that helps the reader better understand a part of the story. Okay, so you're going to invent a conversation. What does invent mean? Set? To make up or create. Good. And a conversation is what we just did, a dialogue, or what were you going to say, Cameron? A dialogue, a conversation. So now you know synonyms, and it's really 2 people talking, right? The speaker tags, notice how they didn't say these words, but it says who is saying it. We know because they're sitting right here talking to us, but when you're reading a book, you don't have those people in front of you, so you're making it up in your mind. So you know who Cassie is in your mind, and you can inflect or say it how you think Cassie would say it, and then you can make up how you think Mrs. Bordenero would say it. So in the book, you have to show who says what. Also notice the words for what they're saying. Does it say said, 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 said?
No.
How many times, show me with your fingers, how many times is the word said used? Once, because Cassie said, and then thoughtfully is added, so we know how she said it. What are the other words used? Mackenzie.
Asked, replied, and suggested.
Good. Asked, replied, and suggested. So there are lots of synonyms for said. You don't always have to be using said, and it makes it more interesting to have it be
I like the one suggested.
He's nothing in life is easy.
And
So
yeah.
no reason to get about
What? So pop, means your eyes are thinking about dialogue. What did you notice? While you were reading, while you were listening, what did you notice about dialogue? In your head right now, you should be thinking about all the things you noticed about dialogue. In your head, you're thinking about what you noticed about dialogue. All right, today you're going to start your rough drafts. You need to include dialogue in what you write today. And we still have 25 minutes of writing time. So you need to include dialogue because your language objective is to invent a conversation between 2 characters. So by the end of class today, you should have at least 1 conversation between 2 characters as you're writing your rough draft. A reminder of rough draft rules: single-sided paper, loose leaf paper, point to where that is. Okay? It needs to be legible. It needs to be written in paragraphs, and you must skip lines. You must have it.
Poster, and I made it because I wanted to get a picture in my head of my book and how I could write the story. And we all made them because once we get a picture in our head, we'll have like an idea.
Quote that you would like to share aloud in a whip share. So one quote, and Mrs. Humbert was clear in that a quotation mark is around the outside of a quote. So a quote is 1 line within a quotation mark. So everyone pick 1 quote to share from.
I was attacking perfection. My Eliza is the picture of perfection.
No, I did not practice names.
Sure, and there's a sale on the candy pop. If you want to go get 3 more bags of candy and 2 more pages of pop, you'll get
objectives. Today, a student will be able to demonstrate how dialogue helps us understand a story. Do you feel like you understand your own story better by writing your dialogue and thinking of your characters? So, if you demonstrated how dialogue helps understand a story, give me a bumblebee.
If you invented a conversation between two of your characters that will help the reader understand a part of the story, let's have a touchdown.
Touchdown!
Right, so your